I'm the founder and chief guide at the Culture is Everything Club. The Culture is Everything Club is a safe online space for leaders to learn the skills, build the confidence, to become the best leader they can be. This series of lives is every workday in August, 8:45 a.m. to 9 a.m. Every workday, Melbourne, Australia time. That is, by the way, in August. The reason is I want to show up, I want to connect with you, I want to help you, I want to serve you the best way I can, and I want to continue to develop my communication skills, my live streaming skills, and be the best presenter I can be. That is what this series is about. And if you are here, I'd love you to say hello in the comments, to give me a thumbs up, to see what's to let me know you're here with me. Phil is here. G'day, Phil. Nice to have you with us again. Nice to you're coming via LinkedIn. This series does happen via LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So wherever you are, would love you to come on in and say hello. Now, last week we covered a few topics about leadership, about coaching, about becoming the best people we can be. And this week, today's episode especially, I want to focus on something that is just wrapped up, and that is the Olympics. We've talked about the Olympics a couple of times on this series already. We're not going to go on about it too much longer, but today is really, really topical and really, really important. So the topic for today is, what did you love about the Olympics? And the second question is, what did you learn from the Olympics? If you'd be willing to let me know, answer those questions. The way you can get involved in the show is to type in the comments. The way you can get involved is to simply receive the show and then send me an email later on, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au. Alternatively, you can get involved in by simply watching and enjoying what's going on here. Carmel's here. G'day, Carmel. Nice to have you with us. Hope all's well in your world. Carmel, thanks for being part of this crew that comes here most weekday mornings. Now, Carmel, the question for today is, what did you love about the Olympics, and what did you learn from the Olympics? I'm going to share a couple of things that are on my mind. I just checked with a couple of members of my family what they loved. And the rock climbing was something that was really, really loved in our house. The eliteness of the rock climbers was just amazing. They were in such amazing shape. The speed at which they climbed those walls, especially the speed rock climbing, was the one that really caught our attention. New world records set in the women's side of things. I didn't catch the men's, but that was just amazing. We really loved that in our house. Now, Carmel writes, loved how much more supportive all the athletes from all the countries were for each other. Now, Carmel, I'm really rapt that you mentioned that. We read earlier on in the Olympics that the teams that were on the podium together, they were helping each other out with the medals. They were working together, countries supporting each other and helping each other out. Over the weekend, or maybe it was late last week, the men's decathlon, where the two Australian competitors helped each other out, supported each other. We never thought decathlon was a team event, but it showed that there really was an opportunity to work together there for sure. So I really liked that example. That was impressive and really, really awesome to see. So there's a couple of things. Another thing that that I found really interesting over the weekend was when I was watching the women's high jump. Now, the women's high jump for us in this house was quite close to home, because Eleanor Patterson, the Australian high jumper who happened to come fifth, impressive, super impressive to become fifth at the Olympics, is a member that grew up in a town called Leongatha and was a part of the Leongatha Little Athletics Club. That's where she got her start in athletics. And our kids are part of the Leongatha Little Athletics Club, and so it was very close to home, very interesting for us to watch that. But there was another Australian high jumper in that same event, Nicola McDermott. And what I loved about Nicola McDermott's approach, who got the silver, congratulations, Nicola, amazing effort, set a PB and the like. But elite is something that I really pay a lot of attention to. I try to understand, what is elite? How do people get to it? What are the different types of eliteness? There's so much to consider with the concept of elite. But one of my reflections on what is elite performance is actually the result. Elite performance is the result of elite preparation and elite reflection and review, so you can learn, tweak, and improve. And I reckon my theory is that if people are elite in their preparation and elite in their review and reflection and refinements, then elite performance will appear. It will show up and it will appear in the middle between those two things because of the commitment and the relentlessness around elite preparation and elite reflection and review. And Nicola McDermott was quite amazing in her ritual of checking in and writing in her journal after every single jump. She was had an amazing ritual of after every jump, sitting down, grabbing out her journal, making notes. I don't know exactly what she was writing. Was she rating herself? Was she saying what worked, what didn't work, what could improve, all those type of things. But that elite reflection and refinement, along, of course, like all the jumpers, she's got an elite ritual of how she lines up. But I was really interested and amazed by that. Amazing work, Nicola. Amazing work, Eleanor. And of course, to the girl from the ROC, the Russian Olympic Committee, who ended up winning the event. But I just wonder what us leaders of service-based businesses, in our teams, in our businesses, in our families, in our lives, what can we learn from the amazing commitment to elite preparation and elite reflection from Nicola McDermott in the high jump, or something there interesting from us. Hey, Jeffrey's here. G'day, Jeffrey. Nice to have you with us on a Monday morning. Jeffrey, we're talking about the Olympics. What did you love about the Olympics, and what did you learn from the Olympics? And there's plenty of human stories. There's plenty of leadership stories. There's plenty of good feel-good stories. Jeffrey, I know you're a keen BMX racer. I wonder what you made of the BMX in the Olympics. Our kids loved the freestyle BMX at the Olympics this time around, which was pretty awesome. So that's something to ask and to share. What did you love? Hey, Carmel, let me see what you wrote here. You learnt that it's good just to take time off and celebrate the efforts of all the people who worked so hard. Yeah, Carmel, I like that. I like that. These 4 years, maybe 5 years in the making of these Olympics, because they were clearly Tokyo 2020 held in 2021. But it's take time off and celebrate the efforts of all the people who work so hard. I just want to get the words right there, Carmel. Yeah, that is impressive. That's the Olympics is an amazing human effort from so many, and the work they've done is impressive. So yeah, I really like that as well. Hey, Anne's here. Hello, Anne. Nice to have you with us on a Monday morning. Thanks for dropping into this Think Big Act Small in August series. Nice to have you here. Karma also writes, love the men's high jump gold medal too, sharing the glory. Well done to them. Oh, yes, Carmel, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. I forgot about that. Now, I don't know all the detail, but something along the lines of there were two good mates. I think they trained together from different countries. They got the equal height. They were equal gold medalists. They could have jumped off and tried to beat each other, but they said, enough's enough. We will take the gold medal and we will share it. It was an amazing story of human spirit and human kindness is my understanding there, Carmel. So thank you for sharing. One other learning from the last 24 hours or so, which I don't know the detail, and if anyone out there wants to educate me, I'm always open to learning more and getting into the detail from people that know more than I do. But there was an incident in the women's pentathlon overnight, and it involved a horse, a athlete and a horse who weren't able to connect and weren't able to get over the jumps in the way they'd hoped to. And the rider seemed amazingly stressed. The horse seemed amazingly stressed. Then the girl's coach or the athlete's coach got involved, and there's another issue, a bigger issue, which is unrelated to what I want to talk about, and that's the cruelty to animals side of things. And actually, Carmel, you are someone who works closely with animals, so your view on this is appreciated. But my learning or take from that was just the fact that stress is one of the most infectious things that we can ever come across. Stress is so challenging to manage ourselves, but man, it's catchy for others, everyone around us, including, I think, the combination of stress athlete and stress horse in that situation was a huge challenge for both and everyone involved. And I just wonder, what does that mean for us in our lives as leaders, in our lives as human beings, in our lives as members of families? What does our stress do to us, and what is it doing to others that we may not even realize? And I think there's a real opportunity to reflect on that situation and learn, and hopefully progress in our own lives from that situation as well. Jeffrey writes, I appreciated the amazing resilience of the athletes, yeah, to show up a delayed Olympics, to show up to do it in challenging times. No one in the stands. I was watching those athletic finals. I was watching the cycling track events, and there's just sorry. That's a small exception. There were a few people in the crowd at the cycling track events, but the in the athletics, almost no one there. Amazingly challenging, I think, to have prepared for so long, a lifetime for many, and then to show up and try and do it in front of no one live. Amazingly difficult concept. So a huge amount of resilience there as well. Hey, if you just joined, my name's Tristan White. This is Think Big, Act Small in August, and we're talking about the Olympics. We're talking about what did you love about the Olympics and what did you learn from the Olympics. We've had plenty of examples about men's and women's high jump, decathlon, the resilience. The Australian swimming team clearly did an amazing job. Arnie Titmus set us off to a great start at the start of the Olympics. Andrew Hoy, we mentioned him last week on this show, but his 8th Olympics. Surely he can get to these 9th Olympics, you'd reckon, in the next in 3 years' time. I also, I think we should mention the Australian basketball team here, and there was a learning from there that I wanted to mention and share this morning, and that was firstly the Australian women's basketball team weren't able to qualify through to the finals and to play for a medal. Hopefully they return and stronger than ever. The Australian men's basketball team got a bronze medal after years and years and years of trying many fourth place finishes, challenges along the way. And we saw Paddy Mills after the game, the captain, really emotional. We saw Andrew Gaze, who was a previous generation of Australian basketball, really emotional, and it was really impressive to see. But what I wanted to mention was that this has been years and generations in the making, the Australian basketball team winning a medal. And I heard on a Basketball Australia podcast not that long ago that there's a real culture in the Australian basketball team about understanding what came before them. And the learning was, or the thought was, that before you drink from the well, make sure you know who dug the hole. And I really like that. I really thought that it was an interesting idea that the newer players who are turning up and they might be 18, 19, 20, 21 years old now, that they were barely even born or not born when the seeds were being sowed of the program and the foundations of the success. And so before you drink from the well, know who dug the hole was an interesting thought or quote that I thought was worth mentioning here as well. Now, Carmel writes, I missed that, but I totally agree that stress is a killer. Now, this is about the women's pentathlon where there's a challenge with an athlete and a horse connecting. I totally agree that stress is a killer, and we have to stay as calm as we can to keep everything together. If I'd seen it, I would probably have been in pieces. Yeah, I suspect you would have been, Carmel. I haven't followed it super closely, but it was quite a stressful situation. Andrew Hoy is an amazing example of maintaining the calm for positive forward movement. Absolutely, he is as calm as they become, or calm as whatever you want to say there. I think calm also. Yeah, thank you for that. Now Jeffrey writes. Now I don't know how to pronounce his name. Hopefully it's Nick. I'm going to call it Nick. If I'm wrong, I apologise. Kimman, who collided with an official in practice and went on to win gold, was amazing. Big stack in practice by the sounds of things, but the resilience and the toughness to get up and get going in BMX racing. Thank you, Jeffrey, for clarifying that. Alrighty. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Carmel. Phil, thanks for being here. Anne, thanks for being here. Loved the conversation. If you are here on the replay, please do type in the comments and or send me an email, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au. I'd love to know, what did you love about the Olympics and what did you learn from the Olympics? From a human perspective, from a leadership perspective, from a sports-specific perspective. There's many views on this. My name's Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work. I'll be here at 8:45 a.m. to 9 a.m. every weekday morning in August. If you're interested in knowing more about the work I do, there is a next level leadership guide which is a free PDF download in the comments you might be interested in. And there's also something called the Culture is Everything Club, which is an online safe space for leaders to learn and grow that you can find more info about in the comments as well. For the time being, have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.